Squeezing on a stress ball today. Most of us are, yeah? Today we'll talk about sources of stress, namely techno stress. Does that show up for you? Most people it does. And what's the difference? What are the sources of stress that happen in our life? What happens with technology in our life that's different than if we didn't have technology? And question, are you overwhelmed by life because of this? Well, you may not realize what kind of stress is happening to you because of technology. Welcome to the Best Years Podcast. This is Dr. Darlene at whatstopsyou.com. Are you a teenager or a young parent, baby boomer, or in your golden years? The best years are now in each stage of development. So I've got power tools for you today that will help you make amazing changes so you can show up in the world with your amazingness. The other day I was going through my website and I was revisiting some of the articles I'd written and I thought, wow, honestly, they're really pretty good. Oh my goodness. So I wanted to share one with you today. This particular article was called You Are Not a Robot, How to Overcome Techno Stress. And as I was reading through it, I thought, wow, that's profound and something that I needed to revisit. So what I'd like to do, if you will humor me, is I'm going to read it to you because the way I've written it, I think is profound and poignant. And then I'll go over a little bit after I read it. So hang out with me here for a little story. If you're overwhelmed by life, listen up. Here's my article. My best friend these days seems to be my computer. She can play music, help me communicate with other people via email and every other way, helps me scan the globe with an insurmountable amount of information via the www World Wide Web, and on top of it, she remembers everything I tell her. I think I wrote ha-ha right there. Her memory is amazing. In a second's time, she can retrieve any info that she has stored, even from years ago or forever. My other great friend is my fax machine, and I obviously wrote this when we used faxes more than phone scanning. Anyway, I can input tons of info, and sure enough, just as programmed, she spits out the documents perfectly in the right order. How does she do that? My copier is a true blue buddy, making perfect copy of what is on the original doc. How in the heck does she remember everything and copy it accurately? In addition, my colleague, three-way call, is very necessary part of my life. She so expertly connects two human voices from anywhere in the world, anywhere. How does she do that? And call waiting, what the? Put the circuits on hold while I'm on another call and keeps the connection live for my timely return. How does that happen? Yeah, so since writing this article, so much more has been invented. Dropbox, the Drive, Google Docs, so many more things have been invented since then. So it's even more. And it changes. Once you get something figured out, it changes. Such as music. It used to be, what were those things? 8-track, don't laugh. And then cassette tapes, and then CDs. And now Pandora and all of the downloads and MP3s. So things change and change and change. Continuing with my article. I lie in my bed and thank my best friends for being so great. But I lay awake all night wondering how I can keep them busy since they're all willing to work 24 hours a day. I have a stomach ache, and my head hurts. I get up and get a drink. I get some warm milk and my mind races. The next day, at the psychiatrist's office, he promptly prescribes valium and or anxiety meds for me. He treats me for depression and heavily medicates me because I can hardly keep my mind in order these days. Nothing seems to help. Maybe alcohol. Maybe taking a long ride and running away. Then one day, while chatting with my life coach that was assisting me in making sense of my miserable life, he profoundly said, "You seem to be best friends with robots that have no internal intrinsic purpose, passion, or feelings. They never feel bad and they never have joy. And by the way, you are not a robot. Ha ha. My caught my breath. No, I am not a robot. Hey, yet I have surrounded myself with these aliens, all the while thinking we were equals and that they were assisting me in my journey towards success and happiness. My life coach helped me realize that my mind was limited by the human brain and body and could process only about 5 bits of information on a conscious level at the same time. That's less than my beautiful computer. She can process billions of information at the same time. Hey, that's not fair. No, life does not seem fair when we compare apples to horses. Information overload is an epidemic that man himself created. We crafted robots to run high-speed information across the globe, but we forget to acknowledge that our human frailties just cannot keep up with robots. We need to remember that we need breaks in the middle of the day for our bodies and our minds. We need, let me say that louder. We need 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep each night, each and every night. And we need constantly to organize our minds with day timers and planners and say no more often. We need to change our sensory input to right brain and left brain stimulus and look up at the sky and count our blessings and acknowledge God and feel. We must remember that we are children of a greater being and that we are spiritual beings having human experiences. Life is to enjoy, and it is possible when we let the robots do their tasks and recognize our limitations, savoring our human abilities and uniqueness. There's my article. So what do you think? Do you agree? Do you feel those limitations? And what if you honored and recognized that you're human and that it's okay? We must rest our muscles in order for them to grow in between sets of work. We know this. Let me share with you a scientific formula for the conscious mind. We have an unconscious that can really hold billions of bits of information, and the conscious mind can only hold about 5. The formula is 7 plus or minus 2 bits of information on the conscious level are we able to hold in our conscious mind at the same time. So that would be, let's say 7 plus or minus 2, that's 5 to 9. And let's say we're at about 5-ish bits of information. Let's just say the average person. And that means we can think of 5 things at the same time, such as the microwave's on, someone's talking to us, we're listening to a song, we're actually texting someone, and then someone's talking to us. We can actually do that almost at the same time. Now, the truth is we're micro flipping from one thing to the other because the facts are we really can only do one thing at the same time. But it appears we're multitasking and flipping because we're flipping so fast. So we can flip really fast about 5 things. So limit that. When the 6th piece of information comes in, it might freak our brains out like, whoa, I can't hear you. There's too much going on, too much stimulation. So as we recognize our limitations and honor and respect that, it's really cool. There are times when we all need to just say, I'm taking a walk, or I call it swing time. I have a swing on my deck, and I sit there, and I've been known to sit there for 4 hours and just swing and think and think. And if anyone was to see me, they'd say, what do you do? And I'd say, well, I'm making money, or I'm thinking, or I'm processing, because that time is so very, very important that I hold still, drop inside. It might be meditation in spiritual ways, meditation in just sensing and feeling your next direction for your business, or how to be a better friend, parent, etc. So taking that time and recognizing you're not a robot, do not try to keep up with technology. Thank your friends for working all night. Thank your friends for working 24/7, those beautiful tech friends, and give them a kiss as they work all night long and you take a beautiful night's rest, naps, walks, and go get some ice cream. All right. So there it is for today. I hope that helped you. Let me know how that has helped you, and we will talk soon. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to my channel so we can hang out. Also, go to whatstopsyou.com for notes to this podcast, more articles and more tips so you can indeed live the best years of your life now.